welcome back to the Peacock Homestead. I'm Elizabeth from the peacockhomestead.com, and we are on the last week of the Every Bit Counts challenge. And I have been purchasing a whole bunch of tomatoes and peaches, and I got 2 racks of onions from the Amish down the street. And because some of my stuff is not coming out of the garden as expected, I have cherry tomatoes coming out of my garden, and I also have a few other things like cucumbers that are trickling out, but mostly cherry tomatoes. And then I have herbs, so I have mint, and then I also have some echinacea flower. Now I have plantain, and then I've been harvesting a little bit of elderberries and elderflowers as well. And I have a couple more herbs that I'm forgetting, but I will remember. Oh, I have a lot of mint, and I will show you that on the next video because I forgot to add it in the end of the video. So at the end of the video, I have a pantry tour of all the things that I canned during this challenge, and I was going to show you that. And then we'll do an actual pantry tour of everything that I have canned up in another video. But this is just everything that I had, and I'm probably forgetting something, but it's everything that I had canned up during the month of August for the 2024 Every Bit Counts challenge. So these are my tomatoes. I got Roma tomatoes. I'm thinking I got about a bushel and a half of Roma tomatoes. So in my quart jars, I did put 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, or you can use citric acid. They have the instructions right on the back of the bag. I've only used it once, so I'm not sure what the measurements of that are. But those are my beautiful quarts of tomatoes. I got 18 quarts, I believe. And then I got a cabbage from them as well. So that was one of the smallest ones. So I was thinking, what should I do with this? And I decided to make some sauerkraut. So I'm going to put a teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of white distilled vinegar, and I'm going to boil some water, and I'm going to put boiling water in each jar after I warm the jars up. So everything together has to be all the same temperature so you don't have any broken jars. And then I will pour the boiling water in the hot jars with the sauerkraut, and then let it sit for a month, and it'll ferment, and then it'll become beautiful sauerkraut. So here I'm just slicing it up as thin as I can, and I'm going to jam them in the jars and get them all canned up. I did process them for 20 minutes in my steam canner, and I got 6 jars. One of them didn't seal because I was doing an experiment. I decided that I was going to reuse a pickle jar and a spaghetti jar, and the spaghetti jar did not seal, but the pickle jar did. So I thought that was a neat experiment. So I put that in the fridge, and I'll be using that one up first in about a month. are going to clean the rims real quick. Make sure they're all squeaky clean so you have a good seal rate. You always want a good seal rate. Out of all the canning that I did, I had only 2 seal failures, and I put them both in the freezer because I cannot eat that much jelly in a month. But of course I have little samples of each in the fridge just to try them. It'll take me a while to go through them, so I'm having toast in the morning, that's for sure. I got all my 6 jars ready, and I'm using pickling salt this time, sugar, and white distilled vinegar. I'm going to fill these jars up with boiling water up to the first line and make sure nothing is touching the lid. I'm going to put them on finger tight, the rings, and I'm going to process these for 20 minutes in my steam canner. And then we'll have beautiful sauerkraut ready in a month. So you want to let these marinate for a month, and then you can start enjoying them. In my next video, I am going to be showing you how I canned up all those beautiful peaches and all the different things I did with them. So I'll be excited to show you that too. I made sliced peaches, I made jelly, peach jam, I made peach sauce, and I also made peach salsa, which I use from the Ball Blue book, but I altered it a little bit. So I have that on my blog as well, how I altered it, if you would like to take a peek at that at thepeacockhomestead.com. I was going to give you a pantry tour of all the goodies that I canned up. So here we go. So a few things that I canned up in this 2024 Every Bit Counts challenge was, we'll start off with the peaches. So I got a bushel and a half of peaches, and of course I couldn't resist doing all different things. So I canned up some peach jelly, and I canned up peach salsa. Look at how pretty that is. And I canned up, let's see what else peach do I have. Peaches. So I canned up a whole bunch of those peach slices. And then Jack is going to help. Hi, Jackies. Good boy. I canned up a whole bunch of spaghetti sauce, so I have a whole bunch there. And with that mint, I made mint jelly. And let's see. I canned up a whole bunch of chicken stock. I canned up regular chicken bone broth, and then I canned up chicken bone broth with onions. And I canned up a whole bunch of sauerkraut. So I got some of that. Anything fermented is good for your gut health, so I figure I will buy a cabbage and get that all fermented. So I used, for the sauerkraut, I used a teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of vinegar for each quart jar. And I'm gonna let it sit for a month and then pop it open and enjoy it. And I also have this. This is my little cherry tomatoes, and I've been putting, covering it with olive oil, and so I've been dehydrating these, and I'm going to see how many jars I can get. So far I have 1.5 pints. I also canned up some salsa from the Roma tomatoes I bought from the Amish family down the street. So I have a bunch of those. And I couldn't resist making peach jam. And that turned a really pretty color. And then, let's see, I believe this is one of the peach sauces. I put cinnamon in it, and I put it in my slow cooker. And then I can that up. And up here, where I can't hardly reach, I have peach sauce without any cinnamon, so this is going to be tasty. And then I always put what it is and the date. So all the way up here, I have some collard greens, and there's some more where I cannot reach up there with my carrots that I canned. And let's see what else. Ooh, I got these from the Amish family down the road as well. These are my little racks of onions. Look how big those onions are. They're humongous. They are so beautiful. And then some of the herbs I dehydrated. Let's take a look down here. I have my purple coneflowers. I also have, let's see, self-heal. And what else we got in there? We have some oregano. And I also dehydrated some basil. And then, let's see, that's my self-heal. This is my plantain. I had some plantain in my yard, so I gathered up that, dehydrated it, because I'm going to make healing salve with that. And then I have my lemon thyme. That smells so amazing. And then I have my elderflowers. I got almost a pint jar. And then I also got a little baby pumpkin. So that's exciting. I forgot that I planted smaller pumpkins, but look how little that is. It's so tiny, but it's so pretty. It has a pretty color. And then I have tomatoes trickling in from my garden. There's my test garlic. I had harvested that before I harvested all of these. So I couldn't braid them because they're really stiff. So I kind of clumped them up in a little beautiful bouquet, and I tied it with some twine. So I got that all dried, and then when I want to use them, I just clip off the little one of these at a time, and I use those up. And Lesson, are you sleeping? And then I got a couple things. This is what I have left over from my canning tomatoes. I have some beautiful Roma tomatoes. And then I got these today after work. So these are so pretty. These are some regular peppers. And I have some humongous zucchini that I need to do something with. And then I also have these little beautiful cherry tomatoes that keep trickling out of the garden. So that's exciting. And then I will show you my extracts. So I have mint and vanilla, and I will show you that too. And these are those carrots. I got 11 jars of those. And I also canned some red tomatoes and made jam with it. And I canned some beets and pickles. And then I don't know if I showed this yet, but this is my jalapenos. And I have my elderflower and self-heal oil. That's still going. And then I also have my extracts that I made. So I will strain these out in a month. They're still going. This is my mint extract that I made with vodka. And this is my vanilla extract I made with brandy. And it smells amazing. And if I forgot anything, I will add it on the next video. But I hope you all had fun with this challenge and canned a whole bunch of things up for your pantry. I just wanted to thank you all for coming along with me with this challenge of the Every Bit Counts Challenge 2024. I had so much fun preserving and stocking things up for the winter. And I am super excited to be doing these videos for you. And I hope you have a beautiful, blessed week. And thank you so much to Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead, of course. And I'll see you on the next video.